Hello everyone, my name is Ty. Welcome back to our channel. Happy holidays everyone. I hope everyone had a good holiday and happy new year actually, because we are looking forward to getting into this new year. Now, I did post that we were going to do Fears to Fathom Ironbark Lookout. The game kind of exploded. So, instead, we're going to stick to the spooky topic. But this time I'm going to tell like an actual personal story of me of the time I actually encountered a spirit or ghost. I'm not entirely sure what he was, but just one of the many ghost stories I have to tell, and I thought maybe it'd be kind of fun just to do like kind of like a one-on-one with us and just kind of talk and have a story time. Now, before I get into that, I will try to figure out why Fears to Fathom just took a hot dump on me, and we will get back into that. Now, it is a 2-hour game, so it's probably going to be cut up in like the two parts, maybe like hour long. So it's kind of like one of those where you have to kick back and sit back and watch for a while, but we'll get through that. But until then, we'll get right into the story here. Me personally, this happened about 10 years ago, which I know, it makes me feel old even talking about it. But it's been a while, so there may be some fuzzy parts, so I apologize ahead of time, guys, but I'll make sure to get everything to the point and we'll go from there. But so this is a old house I used to live in 10 years ago, like I said. It was out in the country. Nothing but fields around this house. It's a very old house, kind of rickety. A lot of it was outdated, like modern day stuff. Like, I mean, there was outlets in the house that didn't work. There was wood around the like window frames that were just rotted, and it was causing windows to fall out. That's why they had to be replaced. Pretty much how it was a two-story, not including the attic house. Now, bottom layer, you have your like dining room, your like living room, you have a kitchen, and then you have like a little front foyer, which we would have the computer room. Now, and then you have the upstairs, which is like pretty much where all the beds were. You just have pretty much a hallway. You have a bed on the far side of the house, front side, back side, and like on the sides. And then you have like the bathroom that's at the end of the hall. And then at the very top of this house is the attic. I'll tell you this right now. Like, usually I would go to I can go into an attic and not really feel uncomfortable. Maybe a little hot because it's hotter than shit in those things. The way the attic was set up, it was just an old attic, but something was off. Always felt like something was just there. Now, I know it could just be my imagination or whatnot, but it just always felt like when you were in the attic alone that something was just hiding behind stuff, because it was just pretty much this attic was filled with just boxes, old toys, like old sporting stuff, like all this stuff, right? And it just felt like something was always like just hiding behind like something, just watching you or like observing you, seeing what you were doing. So 9 times out of 10, I kind of just bolted out of that freaking attic 90% of the time. And then you got the basement. Now, the basement, dude, this is straight dungeon basement. I mean, there was no like laid out actual floor. It just looked like someone poured concrete on some dirt. And it was all like wavy and stuff. And it was just, oh, there was this one section of the freaking basement that was off. It was like tucked off to like the left when you come down the stairs. And it was just pitch black always. And there was always a weird feeling with that one too. It's kind of going back to like the attic where it's almost like someone's watching you type deal. But instead with that, it was just like you just felt like something was there. And after a while, it just kind of went away. With the attic, it never went away, which is the weird part. But nevertheless, let's get into the actual part of it. So, my bedroom was facing the back of the house. Pretty much, you looked out my windows, you saw nothing but fields. Like, you'd hear coyotes at night, frogs, which I do miss all that because I do love the country a lot. Staying away from people and just having your own little, like, piece of land and stuff is really nice. Then you get to kind of be with nature and whatnot. But the way my room was set up, my bed was facing the door to the hallway where you got all the other bedrooms were. Now, with my bedroom, I would have my bed facing that way. I have my dressers like on the opposite wall of my bed, and then I would have like my TV on the wall on my left, and next to my TV was the closet. Now, the way the closets were kind of like hooked up in a way, whereas they had really old doorknobs that like you could technically turn, but they wouldn't latch. So it was kind of weird how they've pretty much, it was kind of like they're open always, but like there were heavier doors, so you actually had to put some like effort to push it open. So, and not to mention they had these like skeleton key hole things that you see in like a horror game of some sort. So these doors you would actually have to put some effort into to actually open. Now, one night in the middle of summer, it was like 2, 3 in the morning, right? Usually when there's a noise, I'm not one to really check it out unless it's like a big commotion. Typically, if I hear something like a thud, I think it's like a cat, because we had cats. And I would just roll over, go to bed, thinking like they jumped off or something. When I woke, something was off about this night. It just kind of felt weird, but now I had my cat Cameron, which I'll post like right over here. He would always sleep with me, and he was always like my bud pretty much, and he would always sleep at the foot of the bed. Now, he used to sleep through everything, even like little thuds, knocks, and whatever. Like he wouldn't wake up, but for some reason I heard like a creak. I looked down at Cameron. He actually has his head up this time, and he's looking towards like the closet. So that makes me kind of sit up and like in a half daze. I'm not really awake. I'm just kind of like what's going on? I look over to my closet. My closet is slowly opening on its own. Like, what, I thought I was dreaming, because I mean, like, you can't, like, why is the closet opening? It's an old school closet. There's no reason it should be opening on its own. Well, needless to say, I stared at this like closet, right? And I looked kind of more towards like the bottom of it, and I see what kind of looked like a little black cloud forming. I kind of stared at it for like a little bit, because I'm thinking like, what am I looking at? And it started to look like somebody was like kneeled down, but not like a typical person kneeled down, like very slender looking person, like long arms, long legs, right? I start to think like more about it, like what's like, what the fuck am I looking at? This thing starts to stand up. Mind you, I still think I'm dreaming. I don't think any of this is real. I think I'm just tired or overtired, whatever it may be. Gamer hours, you know how it be. Sometimes you're just tired. This thing gets up. Now this thing is I'm 6'2", right? That's, compared to my girlfriend, I'm pretty tall. This thing was like 1.5 feet above me. Now I don't understand. Like, at this point, I'm just kind of staring at it. I'm not phased for some reason. Like, I don't feel threatened. I don't feel anything. I'm just seeing this thing stand up. Now, this dude is obviously head's almost touching my ceiling. He has these long arms, and they look like long fingers, and he's just this really skinny, like, slender dude. He looks at me, and I could kind of see on his face, it was like 2 white eyes and like a little jagged smile, right? So I'm kind of just staring, like, still tired as fuck, don't know what's going on. This thing comes out of my closet, takes a left, like just staring at me, takes a left, like almost like I'm not there, and then goes down the stairs. I know I'll get hate for this, but my ass gets out of bed to go follow it, because I'm fucking stupid. Why not? It's in a dream, but fuck it. Let's see what it is. So I'm going down the stairs, right? And through our like living room, straight through the living room is the kitchen. And there's that sliding glass door that goes out onto the porch. Now I see him he's already like outside of the glass windows, just walking out into the field. I just watched it go until like obviously he just dissipated and he's gone. But then I turn around and just go back to bed, lay down, go to sleep. I thought it was all a dream. Just, whatever. My mother asked me, what was I doing going downstairs at like 2 or 3 in the morning? And that's kind of when my heart sank a little bit, because I was like, oh shit, that was actually a legit thing. I don't know what he was, but this wasn't the only encounter I've had with him. Like, what the fuck? I don't know what to say. Like, he never had a feeling of like negative energy. Like, you know how you feel like something like dread, or like you're scared, or like your adrenaline starts kicking up? I didn't have that. And maybe it's because I was half asleep or something, but he walked out the door and disappeared. Now, this isn't the first time, like I said. I ended up seeing him one night when I had my TV on, because for some reason I have to have background noise when I go to sleep. And when that happens, I just have the TV on. Usually it's just flickering all night, playing God knows what. I felt pressure on my bed the one night. Now, I thought it's like my cat Cameron. He, typically you feel like a cat laid down, you feel the pressure, but where the pressure was like, I was on one half of the side of this bed, right? The pressure was coming right behind where like my butt was. And that's usually not where Cameron would lay. He would lay down by my feet, or like up on my head, like around my head. Sure enough, I roll, like I kind of like peek over my shoulder. Once again, the same exact thing. Was sitting on my bed looking at the TV. Now, I don't know if I was just dreaming it again, what was going on. Like I said again, I didn't freak out though. It was just some more of like, okay, he's here again. I mean, fuck it. You want to watch TV? Bro, get the remote. Like, I'm not going to tell you no. Dude, you're a foot taller than me. You probably can dunk on me. Let's be real. But he just pretty much sat there. I blinked my eyes a couple times and he was gone. So I don't know what he was exactly. This goes on to a few other things. I had this ex of mine, right? Who I would say like a spiritual, like almost like a medium type deal. Except she actually saw him, which I thought it was all... To be honest, I don't, you know, like how you bring up like ghosts, people are like, oh no, bro, you're crazy. I thought I was crazy until I actually heard somebody too, like her saying that she saw him, and what she saw was different. So pretty much how it starts with her is she came down, she originally lived like out in Virginia or whatever, and she came up to where I'm at now, and she spend the night, all was fine, go to bed, perfectly fine, long day, whatever. Go to bed, and now I do this thing when I sleep, and my girlfriend even now notices it as well, is I'll stop breathing for some reason in the middle of sleep. Like, I'll be breathing perfectly fine, then all of a sudden it's just for like close to a damn near minute, and then all of a sudden I do the and I'm fine. I don't know why I do it. Probably should see a doctor about that, actually. I mean, for real though. But not the point. She heard me, my ex, stop breathing, and she looked over at me. She kind of like checked, like, hey dude, you alive, bro? Or pretty much tries to nudge me, tries to wake me up, and she looked over, rolled back over, and then she heard me do it again. I obviously exhaled at that point, but did it again, and this time she turned back over, and the guy that came out of my closet, or what I call TSB, Ty's shadow buddy, he was an inch from my face, like crouched over top of me. I don't know why exactly he was crouched over top of me. She said she saw him literally an inch from my face and pretty much just lurched over top of me. And the moment I breathed, he kind of leaned back up, and then he disappeared. So that may raise a lot of questions, and you know how I am. I don't like demons or none of that stuff. I don't welcome that into my home. None of that stuff. The thing is it kind of felt weird in a way, because when she said that, she said there was also like some other, which that's a whole nother story I can give you. But there's another spirit in the house that gave off terrible energy. But with this one, he more of like, it was almost kind of like he's watching over you. Kind of like he just watches you. Now, that sounds crazy as fuck, I know. It kind of felt like that way too, because he would, after that moment, he never had a negative feeling. Now, I still don't know what that is, because most people, when they hear something tall, lengthy, and like a jagged smile and all that, they're probably like, demon. Which, I don't blame you. I agree. So I don't welcome him in my life like that, because I don't know what he is. But I don't think he was ever there to harm me in that household. In fact, I think in a later story I'll probably tell you guys, I think he was actually there to protect me. Which, shout out TSB. I think it was I think he was actually doing good instead of, or he's even neutral party. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much one of the many ghost stories I'll probably tell on here. Because, yeah, it's always nice to have a little story time. That was the time that was actually the first time I've seen a ghost in my lifetime. I know a lot of people are probably like, ghosts aren't real, which I totally understand it. You kind of have to experience it yourself before you believe that. And hell, there was times I didn't believe it until I saw that, and then that made me really think, like, okay, what's going on? But for now, guys, that's going to be the end of story time with Ty. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will figure out Fierce to Fathom, Iron Bark, Lookout, kind of figure out what's going on with that, because it did start up fine, and then it just took a giant dookie. But I'll figure it out so next time we can play it, and then we'll probably be in a few parts. And if not, I mean, we'll keep doing story times or do a different game. I'll keep you guys updated. As always, guys, I also want to thank you guys for everything from last year. It was my first year with YouTube. Very nerve-wracking to start out at the beginning, but I appreciate and love every single one of you guys. It's always a pleasure to have fun with y'all and have a good time. And it's nice to know people are out there also supporting you at the same point. And it's pretty much, I wouldn't be doing this for any reason besides you guys, because I love doing it for y'all. So I do appreciate every single one of you and love y'all. And I hope this next year brings us more fun, and we'll go from there. But thank you guys as always. Love you. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.